Hey everybody, welcome to another NintendoFuse Game Chat. Today we're talking about Guntech 2 for the Nintendo Switch. And my name is Barry and I'm joined today by my buddy Steve.
Hey Barry, so glad to talk about Guntech 2 finally with you.
Finally, it's been a little bit of time since
That's been.
we've been able to get together and do this. So for those of you that don't know, Guntech 2 was released on January 2nd of 2023 and developed and published by Utopos. This is an arcade action shmup style game with missions and different objectives per level. And Steve, you're a big shmup guy. What are your thoughts on this sucker?
I think my overall opinion was I had fun with the game. It was definitely fun. It wasn't one of those shmups that that I've tried before that made me want to just throw my controller and put it down. But at the same time, I didn't feel really drawn back to play it a lot. It was kind of in that middle ground, I guess, is my overall opinion. Like it had fun aspects. I think it was the controls were somewhat intuitive, but the overall game wasn't really intuitive. Like, what am I really supposed to be doing here? I think there's a story, but I'm not really invested in it. But it looks pretty, and I had fun with playing it. But yeah, it wasn't like a ton there to keep drawing me back in, and where I really, there's other games like that I want to beat this game, and so I keep wanting to play, or there's a story that keeps drawing me back in. That wasn't the case with this one, but overall, I had fun playing it. So yeah, what'd you think?
I'm really glad to hear you say that because I was worried I might be in the minority here
Hmm.
because I thought it looked pretty. I saw the trailer. I'm like, wow, this looks really exciting. I'm excited to play it. And then I played it. And that's about what I could say. I played it. It did not pull me in like I was expecting at all. The missions were pretty basic. The
Mm-hmm.
levels felt short and disconnected. Some of them weren't even clear. It was like destroy all the enemies here, but there was no radar to tell me where they were. And I was just flying around aimlessly to try to find that last enemy. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not having fun. And I think that's the worst part about this because
Mm-hmm.
it looks good. It's got everything on paper looks great.
Mm-hmm.
It even controls fine.
Mm-hmm.
But just in execution, I did not have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was probably the biggest thing for me is the objectives. And I think in the very beginning, even going through the tutorial, it was just like, I don't really get what I'm supposed to really be doing here. And then you get into the missions and yeah, like you said, like once you actually figure out what the missions involve doing, it's over super quick. Like as long as you can accomplish those things, you could beat a lot of levels in under 2 or 3 minutes, and that's really your goal is to do that. And so I found it also like fairly easy. I think most of the times that I died, I was playing on normal mode, and most of the times that I died were because I wasn't paying attention, like I should have been. I got shot, and I was like, oh. I should have saw that coming, or I went into an area way too quick where there was enemies everywhere. I'm like, that was a dumb move. I should have known better. It wasn't anything that I ever faced that was incredibly difficult, and I had to learn how to overcome it. It was always just stupid mistakes on my behalf. And so I didn't try hard mode or anything like that, but on normal mode, it was still a pretty easy game. And I also noticed like music as well. I think the music was great, but it got repetitive, which was really unfortunate because they got some great tracks. But after you hear them over and over and over again, I'm like, this is a great track. If they had more of them, it'd be great. So there's things like that as well. I think the online leaderboards were nice, but you can only access them after you complete the level. You can't just go and check out the leaderboards and see how you're doing. And once you choose a level as well, so I thought like maybe I'll just go in there and see if you click into a level, it'll actually show you like maybe the leaderboard or whatever. It doesn't. It shows you a preview screen where you can go to the garage, and you can't back out at that point. You have to actually start the level and then hit pause and back out. It actually froze on me one time. That was weird. I was just cruising along, getting ready to, or I think it was the next to last level for the virus level or world, and yeah, it just music kept going, but I was like moving at usually what is like 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. I think I was moving at maybe 1 frame per minute
Oh my god.
for a while. And yeah, it was like finally I just quit the game and went back into it. Luckily I didn't lose my progress. But yeah, things like that was like I think it needs a little bit more polish, and there's just lacking something to keep bringing me back. But again, it looks great.
Yeah, yeah. If we rated the game just on looks, it'd be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that would have helped me maybe is not only more direction on the objectives, but maybe uh, connecting the levels and the
Mm-hmm.
objectives. So it's not like destroy all the enemies and then get to the checkpoint. It's destroy all the enemies and oh, new objective.
Mm-hmm.
Find the beacons or whatever. Like it just built onto each other because I think like it's like 15 levels or something per world or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
like they're all like you said over in like 2 minutes,
Yep.
and it just when you feel like you're just checking off boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel like you're really playing because by the time you just start to get into it, the level's over, the
Mm-hmm.
mission's over, and I'm like, that wasn't fun. So
Yeah.
I would have liked it if you could have just done it all in one shot, and had the level maybe change on you and warp on you, and I think that would have been a kind of cool mode to add. I mean, even if you wanted to keep them separate, just put a mode to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
I went into this game truly expecting to love it. I was like, "Ooh, this looks like something that could be excellent," and I hadn't heard about it. So I'm like, "Ooh, hidden gem." And now I know why I hadn't heard about it because it just it doesn't resonate with me. And I wanted it to resonate. And I tried and I tried and I tried and I hate to say something negative about a game because I know there's a lot of time and effort and energy that went into it, and programming it and designing it. But for me, this one missed the mark
Yeah.
in virtually every way outside of graphics.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of really good elements to it. Like there's a lot of pieces of why it should be better. It just misses that mark, like you said. Like I think like upgrading your ship, I think is great. I never
Yeah.
found the need to actually upgrade it though.
Yeah.
I was fine with the basic stuff. I was running through levels and beating the time that I needed to really easily. The bosses were a piece of cake, and yeah.
See, I had
So I just
difficulty with like the first boss.
oh
I
really?
actually like he wasn't hard, it was just like more like a sponge.
Okay. You
And
from
I'm
the boss from the tutorial or boss from the first
the
world?
tutorial, the
Oh
first
yeah,
thing
the
tutorial.
boss from the first world is so much easier. The tutorial boss is actually harder than the first
Yeah.
virus world. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the first tutorial boss, the
yeah.
first one you come to, it was way more difficult than I expected,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a bullet sponge. And that's
Yep.
one of my things that I do not like about shmups is when bosses are bullet
Yeah.
sponges.
Yep.
Because at that point, it's like I've learned the patterns. All I'm doing is I've got to do this pattern for the next 3 minutes and make sure I don't screw up.
Yep.
It's almost like we're just delaying till you finally screw up, and I don't like that. Like I know the patterns, just let me go on. Like
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that boss, I was surprised because I was like, all right, the rest of the game was piece of cake, and then that boss killed me. That was my first death, and I'm like, this is a tutorial boss, and it
Right.
killed me.
Yeah.
Like what? This
Yeah.
difficulty spike came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and I think like the objectives that were the most confusing to me and I didn't really quite understand is when you had to, I guess, shoot the people, the professors or whatever they were walking along the ground or whatever, but you had
Yeah.
to get really super low, close to the ground, almost land in a way, but then still shoot them. And I don't know when they didn't have sort of health bar sort of thing. It just automatically happened. And I felt like I was bumping into the ground the whole time, like wasting life. And so that was the most confusing objective to any of them. It was like, I don't know what is happening right now. And we have to like go low enough to actually like go into this other mode where it like zooms in and then you can actually accomplish that. I couldn't just like shoot them from above. Like, why
I
not?
didn't like that camera zoom thing either.
Yeah.
Like when it would randomly zoom in, it was jarring.
Yeah. I feel like
So
it could be a good game multiplayer because it does have 4 player couch co-op that could be fun if you had some friends together, but it's only couch co-op. So we couldn't,
yeah,
get online and try it or anything like that. So I think that could add some more fun to it. But just because I was playing it by myself, I just kind of kept finding it just okay.
Yeah, I played it solo. I didn't play couch co-op, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's the strength. Maybe that's where the game shines. But we didn't we didn't experience it. So I do have to ask. The game is 14.99 on the eShop. It does go on sale, but it's 14.99 right now. Steve, would you recommend this game at 14.99? Wait for a sale or pass entirely?
I don't think it's horrible. So I'd say if you're a fan of this kind of genre, like especially that kind of the type of shmup, this is kind of classified as a cave flyer. So if you're a shmup that's the fan that's likes those kind of games, I think it's still there's enough there to have some fun with it. It may not keep drawing you in, but there's some fun to be had. And I do think the couch co-op could be really fun if you had some other friends that really enjoy it too that are local. But I would say go wait for a sale. I don't think there's enough game there to warrant the full price. I think, but yeah, if you find it on sale and it's like 30% off or more, and you think you're up for it, I think it's worth trying on a sale, but don't pay the full price for it.
I can kind of echo that. I think if you like these cave flyers and, this is your genre, I think if you wait for a sale, you could find some fun. If you've never played Cave Flyers or you're not sure of the genre or you're not a big shmup person, or even if you like just traditional shmups, I would say stay away.
Yeah.
And one thing I think this game would benefit from is a demo, but
Mm,
there's no demo. And whenever this game doesn't have a demo, sometimes I'm a little weary. Like, why don't you want me trying the game out
yeah.
before I give you the money? So that is definitely a negative. If there was a demo, that would be perfect. I would recommend everyone play the demo and try it. But without a demo, you have to really like this genre. You have to like very quick time trial style mission based combat or gameplay. And, if that doesn't sound interesting to you, then stay clear. With that, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Definitely thank the publishers for providing codes for us so that we were able to review the game. Make sure to go to NintendoFuse.com for all your Nintendo news and check out other things like our YouTube page for podcasts and other game chats just like this. But thank you all so much for watching, and thank you, Steve, for joining me.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Have a good one.